No Game No Life, Noragami, Ouran High School Host Club, Dead Man Wonderland, Yoka, Nisekoi, Seraph of the End, Kakegurui, Chivalry of a Failed Knight, and Domestic Girlfriend. You might recognize some of these shows I just named, but what if I told you that all of them are in the top 300 most popular anime series of all time? And yet, as of the making of this video, they have received no sequels whatsoever. For some of them, it's about to be 5 years since their shows had their sequels. For some of them, fans have been waiting for over a decade. Bakano fans would kill every single male heir of the royal family for their series to get a season 2. Trinity 7 fans would all become concubines just to watch more of red hair waifu with a gun. Fans have been waiting, hoping, begging for these series to have another season, but sadly, it has been far too long. It's not like these shows were terrible in any way, shape, or form. Each show had their own fandom, each show had a cult-like following, each show all rank on average 7.5 score in my anime list. But somehow all of them have one thing in common. No studio is willing to animate them. I was in 2nd grade when the first season of Nisekoi came out. I did not know where babies come from. Now I'm in college and I've finished the manga 2 different times, and I still don't know where babies come from. Somehow in the span of 12 years, Nisekoi still hasn't had another season. But an anime where the main character pays a girl to pretend to like him, that get 5 seasons? The author of Rent-a-Girlfriend, Reiji Miyajami, his birthday is December 15, the same day Ramirez II, one of the most powerful rulers of ancient Egypt, became pharaoh in the year 1290 BC. I'm not saying there's a connection, I'm not saying there's not either. It's just crazy that bad animes get more seasons, but good animes are just left in the dust. But I thought about it more and more, and I'm gonna say something that's gonna piss a lot of people off. What if your favorite anime didn't get abandoned? What if your anime did exactly what they're meant to do? That's why in today's video, I want to talk about why your favorite anime doesn't have a season 2. Subscribe, like, support more creators like me, and fuck Jack. Ladies and gentlemen, we are absolutely spoiled with what's coming out very recently. We are probably living in the golden age of the anime industry, and we probably don't even know it yet. Right now, we are getting fully adapted anime left and right, with seasonal consistency with an on-average sequel time of 1.5 years. But I think sometimes we forget that some anime were never made for the purposes of finishing their stories. Here's a stat I just pulled up from my ass, but still factually true. I think 75% of original anime that's been popping up very recently will never get another season. And to prove that, let me take you back 6 years ago. Winter 2019. Out of 25 original anime that came out that year, how many do you think had sequels? Now, before you answer very stupidly and throw out a random, number out there, I'm gonna give you a second to think after this water break. Now, the question is, out of the 25 original anime, how many of them had sequels? Now go. Out of the 25 original anime in 2019, 6 of them had sequels. 25 animes, 6 of them had sequels. And it's not a one-time thing. Spring 2019, 24 anime, 5 sequels. Summer 2019, 23 anime, 4 of them got sequels. Fall 2019, 26 anime, 7 of them had sequels. So the trend is very clear. If you're not top of the cream animes, if you're not a well-known IP, you will never get another season. But why is that? Why are some animes are just made just one-offs? Because you gotta understand, an anime's main job is not to adapt its full story. It's to boost its source material. When 86 came out, 86's main job is to advertise its source material. When Redo Healer came out, its main job is to traumatize its unsurprisingly high female viewers. These one-off animes are used as ads for you to buy their product. When the anime for Domestic Girlfriend came out, the manga sold at an incredibly high rate. When the anime for Kakegurui came out, the the manga sold at an incredibly high rate. From the industry's perspective, if your favorite anime did not get another season and you're frustrated, then good. They did exactly what they're meant to do. You'll go out there and buy the source material because that's the only way to fix that frustration. You think the studios for Devil is a Part-Timer were prepared for fans to be begging for another season? You think the studios for Goblin Slayer were prepared for fans to actually enjoy the entire series? Fans have been begging for Devil is a Part-Timer and Goblin Slayer to have another season. And once they actually got what they wished for, they'll never wish for another season because that season was pure butt shit galore. Take No Game No Life as an example. Dropped in 2014, ranked 21st in the most popular anime series of all time, and somehow 12 years later, still no second season. Why? Because in the industry's perspective, it already did its job. The light novel became extremely popular and they made a shit ton of money. In 2014, alongside the anime, it became one of the top-selling light novels in Japan. Over 800,000 copies sold, and for only a 12-episode anime, that's considered a very strong boost. Yes, the IP for No Game No Life is very successful, but you gotta understand, even with an anime's popularity, that still doesn't guarantee a sequel. Maybe the author only wanted the anime to advertise its light novel. Maybe the studio thought other IPs can get them more money. Why make a second season of No Game No Life when next season our studio will adapt an anime like One Punch Man and Overlord? So maybe the reason why your favorite anime did not get another sequel because it already did its job, and now you're hypnotized into reading its source material. But that's only one of anime's main job, which is to advertise. What about its second? Making money. But before that, once again, subscribe, like, support small creators like me. We're so close to hitting 1K subscribers, and my question of the day is, do you think it's unfair to compare a finished anime with an unfinished anime? So I'm talking about like comparing an anime like Naruto, which is finished, with an anime like, Free Ren or JJK. Is it unfair? Drop it down in the comments below. I read all of them. I appreciate you. Love you guys. Back to the video. I'll tell you something that pissed a lot of people off. Natsuki was the better option among the four. But I think another part that will get a lot of people mad as well is knowing that popularity does not always mean revenue. I think sometimes we forget that these shows are made by industry, made by companies who only care about one thing: money, money, and lots of money. What we see is very different from whatever the suits up top see when it comes to anime. And by far the biggest thing they look at is how profitable the anime is. And if the answer to that question is just kind of, then the probability of your anime getting another season will go down. You gotta understand that one anime isn't exactly funded by one company. They're funded by production companies, publishers, music labels, toy companies. If one big investor pulls out, the possibility of your anime getting a sequel will not be possible, no matter how much the fans beg. And believe me, fans beg. A first season of an anime might have been successful, but that doesn't guarantee that if you adapt the anime fully, that it will keep being successful. Look at an anime like Noragami. 2 seasons, amazing story, great characters, has one of the most iconic openings of all time. On paper, you would think Noragami will be the next big thing. But 10 years later, it still hasn't had a season 3. Why? Because season 2 was a disaster financially. Everything dropped. From a fan's perspective, it was another season of masterpiece. But from a boardroom's perspective, they must have been melting down like the T800 Model 101. Noragami season 1 DVD sales in Japan were on average 5,000 copies per volume. But Noragami season 2 only averaged 2,000 copies. A 50% drop in total sales. And 2,000 copies for an action shonen is considered as an underperforming series. Noragami was profitable, but they weren't growing in any way. And if you're not growing, your anime is easily replaceable. And let me ask you, if you were a studio and you had to choose an anime to make more revenue, which one would you choose? Would you choose to make another season of Noragami, or would you take on another chance on a small hero shonen about superpowers? And if you have chosen the latter, then congratulations, you are a millionaire. And that's exactly why anime like Rent a Girlfriend is still getting more season, even with that horrible ending of the main character being rejected 500 chapters in. The IP for Rent a Girlfriend is incredibly successful. I walk around and I still see Rent a Girlfriend products in shelves. Why? Maybe because it has a good story. Now let's say your anime did perform well and did do good financially. There's so one thing that kills almost every anime series. Time. It's been 19 years since Ouran High School Host Club had another season. Deadman Wonderland, it's been 14 years. Hyoka, 13 years. Nisekoi, 11 years. Do you honestly believe if these dropped today, that these animes would dominate their seasons in today's market with the very sheer amount of number of animes that's been coming out very recently every quarter? If you're not exactly the cream of the top, you will get drowned by the sheer amount of anime that's been coming out, and studios know that. Look at Devil is a Part-Timer. They took a 9-year hiatus and then they revived it, and then what happened? The momentum that drove the series was just gone. This is why some anime don't get officially cancelled. They just fade away in time, lost in the sea of anime genre. And studios know that. The longer the gap is, the higher the risk. And anime is an industry that hates risk. If Seraph of the End Season 3 came out in winter of 2026 with its genre, action, and fantasy, it will be competing with the likes of Frieren and JJK. And if you want to catch up to Seraph of the End, you gotta watch 2 seasons worth of content 10 years ago where the tone and animation could be extremely different right now with Season 3. Listen, an anime can take a 6-year gap and the anime landscape can look extremely different. Log Horizon came out in 2012. Log Horizon Season 2 came out in 2014. Then the anime decided to take a 7-year break. Then Season 3 came out and most of their audience were just gone. Log Horizon was an isekai in 2012, but during that time where they took a break, the entire genre of isekai just left that series goodbye, because the longer the gap, the higher the risk. Re:Zero, Slime, Overlord, Konosuba, Shield Hero, even though it's really bad, all these juggernauts all came out when Log Horizon were just sleeping there and just waiting for the bus. So here's the uncomfortable truth I just want to share to all the anime fans that's been hoping to, watch another season of Nisekoi. Maybe it's gonna happen, maybe it's not, I don't know. Sometimes your favorite anime didn't fail. Sometimes your favorite anime did not get abandoned. Anime is not funded by passion alone. It's funded by money. You can hate that, again, but that's just the reality of it. So instead of asking why your favorite anime did not get another season, instead ask, what job was this anime built to do, and did it already did its job? And if you still want more, just read the manga like I did. Okay, subscribe, like, support small creators like me. I love you guys. Really want to say it back.